Foodnavigator.com. Nostalgia, Authenticity, and Adventure, the flavors trending in 2025. By Augustus Bambridge Sutton. 79 Minutin. Flavor is at the absolute heart of what consumers look for from food. As the old adage goes, taste is king. And in order to understand what to aim for in new product development, NPD, manufacturers must have an idea about what consumers want from their food. Though this, of course, is constantly changing. This year, consumers are looking in multiple directions. Some want flavors that evoke the comfort of nostalgia and authenticity, while some have a lust for adventurous flavor combinations and global tastes. Nostalgia and authenticity. One trend for this year is, according to Innova Market Insights, eating in order to inspire emotion, what they call sensory therapy. In an extension of the old saying eat your feelings, explains Mimi Bonnet, Senior Director of Insights at Innova, it's really people who are eating for their feelings. So, they're eating and choosing flavors to help create or inspire the emotion that they want to have. Some brands are putting an emphasis on familiar flavors, as many consumers are interested in nostalgia. We see a lot of brands that are attaching collaborations to their product development, taking familiar flavors from two different organizations and merging them. Some of the flavors linked to this trend, according to Innova, are espresso, toffee, and forest berry. Perhaps similar to the trend in nostalgia is the trend in authenticity. People want authentic flavors, although not necessarily everyone agrees on what authentic actually means. Things that are authentic to me might not be authentic to you, explains Bonnet. Category include bulgogi, onigiri, gochujang lemongrass, harissa and Japanese dashi. What a consumer considers authentic or traditional is highly subjective, Bonnet points out. Dougal Waters/Getty Images. 64% of consumers, she says, want to see more traditional foods in the supermarket, but that in itself means different things to different consumers. Brands are, of course, taking advantage. The way that brands are playing it out is attaching their brand identity to it. Brands, she explains, talk about heritage and their connection to it to invoke an image of authenticity. They are conveying the idea of authenticity through their nomenclature, in the words that they use to describe where their sourcing is coming from, where they got their ingredients, and how they use their 100-year-old recipes that came down from their grandmother to attach that feeling of authenticity to something that may or may not really be authentic. A focus on texture. This is an article about flavor trends. But flavor always goes hand in hand with texture. This year, texture isn't on the back foot but is a key consideration of consumers alongside flavor. Regina Mazaviciat-Hayden, principal analyst at Mental Food and Drink, explains how central texture is to food, especially as consumer focus on it increases. Creamy. Some textures can evoke comfort for consumers. Jonathan Knowles/Getty Images. Savvy brands understand that texture can tell a story. For example, hand-stretched dough or air-popped grains offer a unique selling point, connecting consumers with the artisanal effort behind a product. Enhancing textures strategically can create products that feel both indulgent and wholesome, satisfying diverse consumer needs. Texture has a variety of roles, from elevating indulgence to conveying a food's healthfulness, she suggests. Texture can also play a role in the emotional impact of food. Younger consumers, especially Gen Z and millennials, are actually seeking out more texture with flavors, explains Innova's Bonnet. Texture, she points out, contributes to the emotional state of consumers in much the same way as flavor. For example, creamy and smooth are textures that people would seek out to find comfort in food, things like peanut butter and ice cream and other things that the indulgent space is leaning into. Unusual taste combinations. Perhaps the opposite of the comforting nature of the previous trends is the trend in imaginative and adventurous flavor combinations. Consumers are, according to Innova, seeking out weird and wonderful flavor combinations, such as for example the combination of sweet and spicy, Swissy. Some trending adventurous flavors are, they say, spicy maple, hot honey, and pickle. AI can also play a role in the development of unconventional taste combinations. AI's role goes beyond product development, offering opportunities to personalize flavor experiences to meet individual tastes. This technology is opening doors for more efficient, experimental, and tailored innovations, transforming how brands bring products to market, Mendel's Hayden explains. Global flavors. Consumers are also being more adventurous with global flavors, suggests Bonnet, and African and Indian flavors are growing in popularity. These kinds of international flavors are nothing new, but what happens is that the flavors themselves and the cuisines themselves grow. Many consumers have a keen interest in cuisines from around the world, including Africa, pictured, Asia and Latin America. Narvik/Getty Images. Consumers are inspired by the cuisines of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, says Mendel's Hayden. Ingredients like yuzu, pandan, and tamarind are not only adding layers of complexity to dishes but are also providing brands with avenues to engage curious and culturally aware audiences. Consumers, she explains, don't just want tastes, they want the story behind the taste. Highlighting provenance and the cultural significance of flavors helps foster authentic connections with an audience eager to experience the world, one bite at a time. Healthy indulgence. We saw last year that the healthy indulgence trend isn't going anywhere, and that is just as true in 2025. Consumers have really high expectations for quality. They want things to be cheap, taste good, be good for you and have some complexity to them, Bonnet suggests. Consumers want health, but they also want indulgent tastes. Protein bars, nutritional drinks, and things like that tend to be very indulgent. They're not often fruit flavored, they're usually caramel or chocolate or coffee or vanilla. And so this is the idea of blending that approach to health but also having very indulgent flavors that can take the bite out of being better for you. This trend goes beyond areas like fitness, however, to encompass food in general. Health-conscious consumers increasingly expect their food and beverages to deliver more than just flavor, they want functional benefits. At the same time, there's growing enthusiasm for bold, indulgent treats that offer moments of pleasure and comfort. This creates a dual challenge for brands, calling for products that can deliver healthier profiles without compromising on indulgence, explains Hayden. Specifically, some of the flavors attached to this trend are sticky toffee, cinnamon roll, and salted caramel, according to Innova. Furthermore, low-sugar snacks with a rich cacao taste and dairy-free yogurts with a creamy taste and texture are doing well, Mendel's Hayden states.